Alright, section 9 workbook, next assignment, times tables. Now times tables requires you to make a template so that the user can come along, enter a value here in B3, and the multiples of whatever that value is show up in column F. And so if you wanted to do, say, your 12 times tables, you would type in a 12 here at B3, and it would show you 12, 24, 36, 48, and so forth, all the way up to 2400, which would be 12 times 200. This is just a split screen, and it's just there so that you can see that we run all the way down to 200. To show you what the finished version will look like, here it is here. The formulas are all in column F, so I come along, I type in a value here in the yellow cell in B3. Let's say I want to have my 13 times tables. Never did learn those. I enter that, and it shows me here in column F all of the 13 times tables, all the way up to 13 times 200. Now the key is, of course, that every formula in column F is going to reference B3, because B3 is where that value is. So let's take a look at how we create that from scratch. Let's get a new workbook. There we go. Now B3 is going to be our key cell. That's where we're going to put in the value that's going to be multiplied. So I'm going to highlight it this way. I'm going to put a bunch of X's in here. We're going to put in 1, 2, 3 all the way down to 200 here. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, that's way too far. There we are. Down to 200. The X's. Control D to fill that down. Well, I've got it highlighted. I'm going to center it. Reduce the width. And I'm going to put an equal sign in there. And that gets filled down as well. Control D. And I'm going to reduce the width. I'm going to center it too. And here, well, this is where I have to put in the formula. So rather than filling down the outline here, I'm just going to enter the formula once with a all border outline. And what's that formula going to be? Well, it's going to be equals this times this. Now, those of you who watched the third video, I believe in birth dates, and in I can't remember. It was one of the other videos anyway. I talked to you about absolute cell references. Now, when I fill this down, I want to make sure that every single formula in column F below here has a reference to B3 in it. Now, if I simply enter it like this, then when I fill it down, that one has a B4 reference, and the next one has a B5 reference. We're looking up here. This one has a B6, a B7, a B8, and so forth. So those were not correct. We have to have a B3 reference. We have to always multiply by the yellow cell. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a dollar sign in front of the B and a dollar sign in front of the 3. And when we do that, still works out the same way. Why don't we put a number here just to test it? Let's get our 6 times tables in here. Okay. So now when I fill down, I'll just fill down the first 10, you can see that it is in fact the 6 times tables up to 6 times 10. D4 times B3. Well, D4 has the 2 and B3 has the 6. How about this one down here? D7 times B3. This is D7, the 5, and this is B3 with the 6 in it, and that's why we have 30. So by putting those dollar signs in here, we get a reference in the formula that allows us to fill and to copy and to do whatever we like, and it will always refer back to B3. So we take that, we fill that down to 200. It takes a little while. There we go. So all of those will automatically update every time we change the value in B3. So if I want the 89.7 times tables, there they are, all the way up to 200 times 89.7. And that's all we need to do for that assignment. Make sure that this assignment sits in your section 9 workbook as the second sheet, and call the sheet times tables. Like that. Thanks for watching.